Julie Dool, and you're watching Spotlight on Sparks. Today I have Mayor Ron Smith, and he recently gave his State of the City address. And how did it go, Mayor?
You know, I thought it went very well. There's a lot, you got to give kudos. There's a lot of people out here that contributed to this, including yourself. But I thought it went very well. It's a new format we used from last year, where we involve everybody in the City Council and members of staff. And I thought it was received very well.
I think we really talked about a lot of new things going on in the city, a lot of new leaders, and you touched on that. Do you want to mention that today?
Well, you know, the one thing that hit me was the visuals. You don't realize until you're reminded of everything we've done, all the new department heads we have, because we have a ton of new department heads. Plus, we're adding 32 new employees. It kind of shocked my memory that, God, I didn't even realize that. So
we do have a lot of new leaders, and we have a lot of redevelopment going on in both the Marina District and in Victorian Square. That's really exciting.
Well, it is. I mean, we've got over 1,600 units in Victorian Square. We've got another 1,000 at the Marina. We've got those luxury apartments that overlook the Marina and look out into the mountains. We've got another 600 units that are just under construction on Marina Gateway. So, you know, one of our challenges is to maintain that family orientation, and I think we're doing it.
Great place to live, work, and play, like you said.
That's right.
In your address.
That's right. Yes.
Sounds good. And speaking of the Marina, I had to bring this out.
Oh.
Because we were dragon boat champions, so
we were.
I'm pretty excited about this.
And the only reason they became champions is because I wasn't on the boat this year. I couldn't make it, but I was there last year. But they're dragon boat champions. They actually beat the Washoe County, and they beat the city of Reno. So
well, and it could be because they didn't show up.
Well,
so
that might have something to do with it. Maybe we can challenge them for next year.
Absolutely. Mr. Mayor, thank you very much for being my guest. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I always enjoy this. Thank you.
My next guest is Armando Ornelas from Community Services Department, and he is here to talk a little bit about an interlocal agreement that Council signed this week. What was that about?
That provides for the cities of Reno and Sparks and Washoe County to fund and defines their respective responsibilities for three agencies for the Community Assistance Center and other services for the homeless.
Oh, wonderful. So how much money do we give, and how much money does each entity give?
Well, there's a formula, and the formula calls for Reno and Sparks each to provide the equivalent of a cent of property tax based on a year, and for Washoe County to provide the equivalent of a half cent. So for Washoe County, that equates to $2.76 million, or just under that. For the city of Reno, just a little less than $891,000. And for the city of Sparks, we provide $302,267 in this current fiscal year.
And so it varies depending on how much money we bring in for that tax money, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And each entity, so I know I hear a lot of, well, there's no homeless facilities in Sparks, and Sparks really doesn't help with the homeless issue, and that's just not true, right?
No, it's not true. And again, the formula was really intended to reflect the size of the different jurisdictions and our respective revenues. So, I would very much assert that we provide our fair share in terms of funding. On a percentage basis. Yes, the Community Assistance Center is located on Record Street, just off of 4th Street in Reno, but that is the regional facility. There is a plan to add women's and children's shelters at the NAMS campus, which is actually located in Sparks, and that is underway, and there's an expectation that it will open later this year.
Great. So thank you for that information. I think it's really good information for people to know that we are collaboratively trying to really help with a significant maybe issue that's going on. So
yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate your help. My next guest is Councilman Kristopher Dahir. Mr. Dahir, you are on the CHAB board, and can you explain that to us, what that is?
For sure. That's the Community Homeless Advisory Board. And what that is, it makes up Washoe County, Reno, and us, and we all have representatives that are just sharing and making sure we're making decisions for the region as it pertains to homeless and those at risk, but then also making sure we have safe zones and safe areas for our citizens. A lot of the parks and rivers and stuff like that is where we have some of our biggest problems, and truthfully, we really have to walk together. One is making sure that we create almost, in a sense, help for those who are in those situations. We want to make sure we open those doors as much as we can, but also make sure it's safe for our kids to go down in those areas. So really working together for best practice.
Recently at a city council meeting, you approved some money to go to the CAC. What is that?
So what that is, it is a regional agreement we've had for quite some time to work together on the shelter, and the county takes a part of that, Reno takes a piece of that, and so do we, based upon population and taxes. It's a number they put together. But the best part about it is that we're in a time where we really are watching people step into the right, I'd even say, their positions they should be in. County stepping up, really stepping up with some things over the NAMS campus. We are seeing Reno really take on their role. That they've done a really good job in the past of trying, making sure they're there, but they're still in play. They're in play, so we're really working together as a region. We just opened up even at that campus, what we need for our mental health area. So it's pretty exciting to watch what all comes together.
It's really showing and speaks to a great collaborative effort between Washoe County and the cities of Reno and Sparks.
And here's the best part. It's not just that we're just putting money towards something. It's that we're going to get results. And I say we're going to get results because we're expecting numbers back. We want to see true goals set and finances put towards something that we can come back and really measure how well did we do. Can we lower homelessness by 30%? I believe we can. I think if we work together, and we have a big meeting September 19th where we're pulling everyone together, and we're going to require, as the CHAB to our whole region, that they work together. If you are working with this population by any means, you will work with everybody else because you have to. Because if you don't, then we're kind of wasting time and money, even because you can lead someone up to this place and then where do they go? What is the next step? So we want to make sure we create that continuous of care from where they're at to the place where they're in homes and they have jobs, and we're really helping them the best we can.
Well, thank you so much for that great information, and we'll just kind of look forward to seeing what happens with this and the good things that are gonna come.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So my next guest is Rebecca Kapuler from RTC of Washoe. Rebecca, we are talking about Vision Zero. What is that? I know this week our council approved us as a Vision Zero city. Is that true? And what does that mean?
Yes, Vision Zero is a regional task force with roughly 15 different agencies working together to prevent pedestrian fatalities.
And pedestrian fatalities the numbers are going up, right, in Washoe County?
Yes, between January 1st and July 31st of this year, we have had double the amount as we had from last year. So we went from 4 at the same time last year to 8 this year.
So what is Vision Zero's goal? How can we as a task force help that?
Well, it's a really good question because our goal is to take a different approach with crashes. We look at every crash as an opportunity to learn, to see what went wrong and how we can prevent it from happening again. And we really want to focus on serious injury crashes and fatalities.
So what does it mean for the City of Sparks to become involved in this task force?
Well, we're grateful that the City of Sparks signed a resolution because they want to stand up with us and say the goal here is 0 fatalities by 2030. So we have an action plan that's on our website, which is visionzerotrekkingmeadows.com, where people can go and see what kinds of items we've got to go do. And it takes all of us, from the professionals to somebody who's walking to school or driving to work. We need to look out for each other, and we have a responsibility for our community.
Great. So in the near future, what's to come for Vision Zero? What are the goals coming up for the task
I
force?
believe our next big goal is we are going to apply to be the first Vision Zero community in Nevada. So we will become a Vision Zero community, and then we're going to start approaching crashes, looking at them, seeing what we can do to change things. Is it education? Is there types of outreach we can do? Looking at lighting at intersections and making recommendations as we move forward.
And you recently, a lot of people went out and kind of identified some areas throughout the region of maybe some areas that need some, that had more crashes and things like that. Is that helping with kind of setting some goals for the for Vision Zero?
Yes, an example of that would be for 2019, Kitski Lane, for example, had a lot of fatalities compared to other areas in our region. And so our task force has identified that we're moving forward with a pedestrian safety zone. That's a new type of zone that you'll see coming up around our area, where it'll be marked and it'll say a pedestrian safety zone. Anyone who misbehaves, if you're driving or walking or riding a bike and you're not following the rules of the road, you could be fined up to double in those areas. So we're not trying to pinch people's pockets, but really use that as an opportunity to educate about being safe and driving safe, walking safe, and following the rules of the road.
And on the website, there's information for pedestrians, for bicycle riders, for drivers on really how important it is and rules that they can follow to lower these fatalities. Right?
Absolutely. An example would be, we tell people to be seen at night, and you don't have to go out and purchase a lot of stuff. There's examples on the website on just carrying a flashlight. I walk my dogs late at night, and I always put one of those headlamps on, so I'm the crazy lady with my light on, but I know cars see me, so that's important to me. And you don't have to go out and buy a lot of stuff, but there's safety tips, reminders we ask drivers and pedestrians to make eye contact with each other. Things that we would tell our children when they're walking to school, but we might forget when we're out and about and hurry to go grab a bite for lunch or whatever. So a lot of our information, we have crash data, we have statistics, we have members of our community task force, and we're happy to come talk to any groups who want to learn more about us, and they can contact us there.
Great. And also on that website, there's a place that people can put in maybe a near miss that they may have had, and that helps in what way?
That's very new to our community. So again, it's visionzerotruckeymeadows.com, and if you go to the contact us, you can submit an area if you were walking and almost got hit by a car or riding your bike. What that's going to do for us is to be able to look at trends and potential crashes that haven't happened yet, and we will be able to map them out, share it with all of our first responders and our engineers and our planners, and see what we can possibly do, any improvements there or education or what's going on. And it'll really help us to get a focus of a potential crash and if there's trends that we need to make future changes.
Great. Thank you so much. This is a really important topic. I really appreciate you being here and talking to us, and hopefully we can bring those rates down, those numbers down with fatalities. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rebecca. My next guest is Andre Stiegel from our Parks and Recreation Department. And recently at a city council meeting, the council approved some new software for the Parks and Recreation Department. What is that software and what's it going to do for us?
Well, they approved a Civic Rec software system that will be replacing our existing system that's been in place for more than 20 years. So we're very excited to have technology and advancement that we can share with our customers and residents of Sparks and the whole Truckee Meadows.
So will that software, how does that work? Is it an online program for them to register for classes, or what is that?
So it's our registration software system. It's cloud-based, fully hosted, so it gives our customers the ability to go online via a tablet or a smartphone, a laptop, a desktop, and conveniently at their convenience make a registration 24 hours a day. It's always open and available to them, and it's user-friendly. So that's
and also
the key.
through social media too, right? They can.
There is, so any user of the system can sign on through their social media login, and then that way if they're signing up for yoga or some fun class, or they have their children enrolled in a basketball program, they can share the information with their friends and families and coworkers, encouraging them to perhaps join as well.
Oh, that's great. So it's brand new software, and how different is it because we haven't had this real technology for a while, right?
Right. So currently we do have an online system. It has some limitations, mostly in the mobile smartphone or tablet arena, so it'll just make it a whole lot easier for people to, on the fly, grab whatever device they have if they need to make a registration. I know for our before and after school program parents, it will add a lot of flexibility to how they can enroll and pay for the classes. And a nice feature is that once you enroll, if we have the ability to interface with Google or Outlook Calendar, the registration will populate right on your calendar. So if you're using before and after, you won't have to look up or log into your account to figure out what days you've actually registered for. It'll be right there for you. So
And just shout out too, what kind of classes do we offer? I mean, just a general overview of what type of classes that we offer here at City of Sparks.
We offer a host of programs across the board, from as young as 6 months with the parent and child swim lesson classes, on up to seniors that are taking part in our softball programs at the age of 85 and 90, and everything in between. We have senior aquasize, we have water fitness classes, a lot of community classes like dog obedience training and yoga, meditation, just some really great options.
And so obviously an easier program for people to be working with online and such, but can they still come in, walk in to register if they're not computer savvy?
Oh, we would always welcome walk-in registrations, and a lot of times people prefer that one-on-one and asking questions and getting familiar with what we offer. And so we would always have that option, and calling in as well, whatever it is that, meets their convenience.
Great. So sign up for some programs at City of Sparks, and thank you, Andre, for being my guest today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you. As always, it's happening here in Sparks. Thanks for joining us for Spotlight on Sparks. I'm Julie Dewell.